Good afternoon. It is July 2nd, 2025. Welcome to the Queen Anne's County Board of Ed. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
At this time, we will move back into open session from closed session. I know there's supposed to be another procedural thing, but all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. And can we have the reading of the statement?
Pursuant to General Provisions, Article 3-305 and 3-104, the Board of Education of Queen Anne's County met in closed session to discuss the appointment, employment, assignment, promotion, discipline, demotion, compensation, removal, resignation, or performance evaluation of appointees, employees, or officials over whom this public body has jurisdiction, and any other personnel matter that affects one or more specific individuals, and to consult with counsel to obtain legal advice.
Thank you very much. At this time, let's look at the agenda for today. There were no additional updates. And in the interest of it being hot in here and summer, can I get a motion to approve the agenda for today, the minutes for June 4th closed, June 4th open, and the June 18th working session?
I make a motion to approve the July 2nd, 2025 agenda as presented today. A motion to approve June 4th closed session, June 4th open session, and then the June 18th session open session.
I second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you very much. We will start with board involvement, and I'd like to go first for once. First, I wanted to say to the 2025 graduates of Kent Island High School, I apologize for not being there. My daughter had graduated from college and I was sailing the high seas in celebration, but I did want to congratulate that class for all of their accomplishments and best wishes going forward. I also missed our naming Dr. Kibler as the interim superintendent, and I want to say welcome and thank you for working with us and moving forward. And then as far as actual involvement, last week I was at the ESMIC conference. That is the 8-9 jurisdictions on the Eastern Shore meet together once a year to share information, ideas. It was a really good session, some really great speakers. The state Teacher of the Year spoke. And the big topic was getting back to the education of our students and what we can do to further that progress. So look forward to working with this board and getting that done. Who'd like to go next?
I'll go. I just wanted to mention on July 17th, there will be an ACE mentorship program in this building from 5 to 7. So it will cover anybody from the high school students and parents, people looking to be mentors for the program, and businesses that would like to get involved for students looking in careers in architecture, engineering, or construction. So if anybody has, I've seen flyers floating around on the Queen Anne's County website, on our website, and then I believe there's some on Facebook as well.
I'll go. So, I don't have much this month. I've for work and with family stuff, I've been out of town actually a majority of the month. I just came back for the 18th meeting and I was gone again. So I actually don't have much this month for board involvement.
It's okay. It happens. Next.
I would like to echo that. I have 2 little kids in elementary school right now, or I guess they were. And so the end of the year, as you know, is quite intense. But with that comes getting to talk to other people in the community, and part of the community involvement not just involves the schools and the programs that they put forth, but also the parents that help make some of those things happen. And I just wanted to highlight an individual that I had spoke to that I think is very worth mentioning. Ashley Luking was awarded. She runs the Queen Anne's County Education Partnership, and they provide great opportunities for our teachers to support instruction, totaling $19,000 and 52 grants. It is completely volunteer run. It procures funds through local contributions and applies to private grants nationwide. In the 24-25 school year, 4,400 requests were purchased and delivered to our schools at nearly all grade levels and in all content areas. This is a mom just like anybody else with kids in the system, just trying to do good things. And excitingly, in June of 2025, the Education Partnership was awarded a $5,900 grant to Bayside Elementary Music Program to purchase keyboards, MIDI controllers, and an additional chorus riser. The Education Partnership secured these funds through a grant from the Mockingbird Foundation, a nonprofit focused on supporting music education. Fundraising is paramount to providing grants in upcoming years. Donations can be made to the Queen Anne's County Education Partnership page through Chesapeake Charities or by reading their Facebook for a link. But I just wanted to highlight some of the amazing things that not only our teachers and our students doing, but also some of the parents in the community that are finding a passion and trying to help provide for our students as well.
Nice.
I went to the Stevensville middle graduation, but I did have a student there. I didn't just go. So, but it was neat hearing the students talk and their speeches and lots of awards. I went to a MABE training about communicating to the public, lots of focus on our strategic plan and how we should align everything with that. And then somehow I got involved with a lot of CAP projects. I think my daughter might have given out my cell phone number. But anyway, I made the mistake, I responded. And so I worked with a few students about projects on outdoor learning, safety measures in schools, virtual learning, and a new unified arts program, just answering questions and stuff with them. But very impressive, like what they were doing, some of them. And went to the ESMEC conference.
Dr. Kibler.
Okay. So first official meeting, so thank you for the nice comments. I do want to acknowledge I was at the ESMEC conference last week. It was a good time. Learned a lot, I think, that we can bring back to move forward. I do want to thank Delegate Ernst and the Maryland General Assembly. I was at the Mattapique Middle School's 8th grade advancement ceremony where they received a General Assembly citation. And that was really cool. So hopefully people noticed the press release recognizing that school. So that was great to be a part of that. I also, on Monday night of this week, attended a Judy Center celebration at Conquest Beach, celebrating 25 years of Judy Centers in the state of Maryland. So that was a great event. A lot of families there, food, games for the kids. Really, really cool stuff. Sad because my kids are not at that age anymore. It feels like we were, but it's great to see the families out there and celebrate the good work that Judy Centers do for our students and the state of Maryland in general.
All right. Thank you very much. Mr. Page, you're up.
This guy.
Just make sure you turn it on.
Yep, hold on.
Okay.
Yeah, no.
Do you want to see it up now or wait till you bring the student up?
Yeah. All right. Is it good to go? So we are excited to share some wonderful news with you. Queen Anne's County Public Schools, in partnership with the University of Maryland's Extension Office, is proud to announce the winners of the 2025 Agricultural Awareness Logo Contest. And with me, I have Jenny Rhodes and Lee Bridgman from the Maryland Extension Office. The contest invited all 7th grade students who participated in our annual Agricultural Awareness Day to design a logo that reflected the spirit of Maryland agriculture with themes of education, sustainability, and community. After reviewing many outstanding entries, the following students were selected. Due to it being summer, we have some of them that are on vacation right now, and so we have a few of them here today. But third place winner was Maddie Schrader, and Maddie will receive a $100 prize, and she also gets free ice cream and a free snow cone each day at the Maryland Fair. County Fair, sorry. Queen Anne's County Fair. And second place winner goes to Aubrey Drinkard, and she is here with her family. Come on up. She receives $200 prize and free ice cream and snow cone at the Queen Anne's County Fair. Congratulations. And I have a little certificate for you. There you go.
Does the board want to come down and
You guys wanna-
you want to get on board with it?
And we can invite your family up too. Do we want to come over here? Or- All right. All right. I don't want to.
There we go. Okay, on three. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
And our first place winner goes to Ella Harris, and she gets her logo featured on next year's official Agriculture Awareness Day t-shirt. She gets $300, and she also gets ice cream and snow cone each day at the Queen Anne's County Fair. And her father, John, was here in town to receive the award for her.
Ella extends her gratitude to everyone, and I know that she gives her mom and I new reason to be proud every day.
Very good. We get a picture with you.
Yeah, hold your.
One more time, Mrs. King. There we go. Perfect. 1, 3, 1, 2, 3.
Very good. And we're so proud of all of your accomplishments. And remember, agriculture is a part of our lives each and every day. Have a great summer, and thanks for the wonderful logos. All right, and then we're gonna.
I think the best part of the gift is free ice cream.
I know that's right.
He's got a presentation. For us? In the south, I make this pretty cool.
I know, and that's right.
We got a team for this presentation.
Yeah.
Right there.
Yep.
Okay. So we also have Macy Cook. Macy is an intern with the Maryland Extension Office, and she is going to be helping them facilitate a little bit more curriculum work with our Agricultural Awareness Day. And Lee is handing out kind of a
Fact sheet
regarding the day, and we're also going to give kind of our presentation regarding that day. So again, my name is, for the record, my name is Michael Page. I'm a supervisor of instruction here with Queen Anne's County
And
Public Schools.
I'm Jenny Rhodes. I work for the University of Maryland Extension. I'm your county agriculture agent. I'm a principal agent, so like a professor on campus.
Lee?
I'm Lee Bridgman. I am a program assistant with the Ag and the Horticulture programs at Queen Anne's County. So I work with Jenny, and then I work with our home hort agent as well.
I'm Macy Cook. I'm an intern for the University of Maryland Extension this summer in Queen Anne's, Talbot, and Dorchester counties.
We also just want to recognize Janelle McHenry and Jessica Clark. They are crucial members to our committee that have been working with us for many years. Again, they were unable to attend, but we just want to recognize them. So the purpose today is just to kind of provide the Queen Anne's County Board of Education with an overview of our Agricultural Awareness Day experience that welcomed all 7th grade students throughout the county. Some background: the program utilizes the Maryland Science Standards and the Maryland Environmental Literacy Standards to educate students about agriculture. Educational stations throughout the day provide insight with numerous agricultural topics that allow the students to have many hands-on experiences, and we're going to go through kind of a display of what that looked like. And then the stations also embed introductions to many careers, kind of connecting it to the blueprint in order to allow students to see what a career would look like within agriculture.
Okay, so we are going to talk a little bit about the stations, and actually this year, I don't think we changed our stations, right? So every year we do a little bit we get feedback from the students, we get feedback from the teachers, and we try to learn from them and certainly make our Agriculture Education Day a lot better. So these are the stations you'll see. So we have aquaculture, grain, careers, animals, and then food safety and pollination. So each of the students will do kind of a round robin. I'll say they get to spend a whole day with us, two schools one day, two schools the next day. We try to break them into these groups that we feel like not too many, but not too small, that they can really learn during the day. So we have an aquaculture station where they learn certainly about the Chesapeake Bay and what's going on, and they do some oyster farming. Everything is hands-on. We've learned over the years. They also do some underwater drone. So we call it underwater farming. A lot of people don't think about that, right? But aquaculture is part of agriculture. So we want to make sure that, and then we talk about all the careers that go with that. And then the grain station, you can see on the pictures up here, this young man is in, Sawyer is in 11th grade, and that's their family combine that he drives to the 4-H park. And the dean of the University of Maryland was there, and he could not get over that this young man could drive this machine, and he explained it to him. So that's all part of it, that we want the kids to be able to see what this is. We also have a tractor, we have a planter, we talk about all the technology in the tractors. We also have stations for them to learn about nitrogen use efficiency in corn and grains, and the evolution of corn and how it's grown. I'm trying to think of what else we had in that. And then just some other little quizzes, like myths of agriculture. Is this, true or false? The career station, Connie Dean does a great job. We didn't mention her, but because she works for the board, right, and for economic development. And she has been phenomenal. So we have a whole building set up of just where we get local businesses to come in and do hands-on learning with the kids. So Mount Air, the chicken company came, and they had these little conveyors, and they had these little stuffed drums, and they had to learn how to tray pack them. We had a local caterer, Alicia, that came. She had food. We had drones. I mean, that is a big, in agriculture, we feel like drones are a big thing. And it's not just for farmers to use, but we need people to be able to run them, and we need people to be able to fix them. What else was in the career station? I'm trying to think.
This year we had a veterinarian
We did,
come this
yeah.
year. We had
We had the Maryland Department of Agriculture was there. They have a new biosecurity with the avian influenza that we had the outbreak in our county, so people could understand.
Chop Tank.
Oh yeah, Chop Tank Electric. Oh, the kids love that. Where they bring all their big gloves, Chop Tank Electric, and they try to put nuts and bolts on, and so it's fun. So hopefully we're sparking some interest for these. So very well. Then we also have farm animals. That's just all the animals, right? The best station. That's what they love the most. So they can pet them, they can talk. We have a 4-H or a FFA member with each one of the animals, and their job is they have to teach. So we're teaching the next generation to teach. That's really important. We work a lot with the FFA and the 4-H. And that's
an important piece of this, is that many of the stations involve our older students who are teaching our younger students.
Yeah.
So it's a great, when we talk about this is a fully volunteer event. A lot of the volunteers are our own students from all grade levels.
So then this year we not only had ag students, FFA, 4-H members, but we had, what were the other group of students that came? They
Teaching Academy?
The Teaching Academy. So these young students came and had no idea of agriculture, but they helped us to lead the children around, and hopefully they were learning also, but learning how to handle students, and they did a really good job for kind of learning. And then the other was food safety and pollination. Lee, you want to talk a little bit about the pollination?
So the pollination part, we do a hands-on activity where we do origami flower, which sounds a little crazy, but they really concentrate. We talk about the parts of the flower important for pollination, but then why pollination is important to our food system. And so that's basically what we do. And then at the end of the day, we have a beautiful wall of flowers. The kids work together to build the flowers, and we have a wall of flowers that each school puts together.
And our Master Gardener community
Yes.
helps facilitate that.
Master gardeners are volunteers that help, and also FFA. We usually have about 3 or 4 FFA members that help, and we have them do some of the teaching as well. So it's great.
So Macy, you want to hold up the little, Connie had in the career station, the kids could write, so they just, I was kind of, yeah, so they talked a lot about chickens which is okay with me, because chicken is our #1 industry.
Must have been a rooster.
Yeah, but if they could sign it or just to write down things. So again, interactive things, right, to keep, so good. So thank you on that. And then food safety is another important part. We have a family consumer science agent, and they have stations where they'll go around and learn where you have to put things in the refrigerator, what works as disinfectants, how you clean. That's been a really, really big hit. And again, the FFA ag students, Cheryl would go into the classroom, teach them what they need, train the trainer, I should say, teach them what they needed to teach, and then they would come and help. So it's been good. I can't say enough about community involvement. It takes over 100 volunteers each day. So we do this 2 days, and many of these people are there volunteering. Really important.
And look at the number of our students in that picture.
Yes.
Which is
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
impressive.
Yeah, a lot of students in that. Then, of course, we couldn't do it without monetary help. It's getting a little harder to raise money. We see the crunch in the economy, but we certainly want to thank you all, for the board, Madam Chair, and your board for your support, and Michael for what he does. And also the county commissioners, they were able to secure some funding we're working on from the Upper Shore Regional Council. And then again, you can see all the local companies that really step up to help us. And this really doesn't, this whole list you'll see, this is everybody that helps. So, this is really important of all these businesses that really came together to help to support. And families, you're right. You can talk about that.
So we just presented this, so I'm not going to go too far, but I do want to show you Ella's logo that she created. And that, like I said, that will be showcased on our we create t-shirts for all our volunteers, so we'll be placing that image on our t-shirts next year, and we will make sure we get you one.
Yeah, that's right. She won't be in 7th grade. One of the successes of our is evaluation. So Michael has worked with us to do pre and post evaluations of the students because we want to make sure that they're gaining knowledge. This year, what we've done at the University of Maryland Extension, we have gotten our questions IRB reviewed. So that means the Institutional Review Board for the College Park has reviewed them. We can ask these questions, and now we can do publish. So we can publish on this. So we will be working on publishing this information, which is really important. That's what Macy is going to work on. I've given her a big task. I don't think she's going to get it done all this summer, but she's agreed maybe to keep working on it because we do have some funds that we could pay her. But the idea is to have a handbook, and that we can give to other counties. So Cecil County has adopted this. Now Caroline County is working on this. Lee and I'll probably be helping them figure this out.
Howard County theirs started off basically the information that I sent them about what we do. So they're doing that.
So thank you, Michael. So this is really morphing, outside of our county, and we're setting that model. But just if you want to look, I just want to read to some of these pre and post tests. We had 424 students participating in a pre and 354 in the post. Data shows a strong increase of knowledge about aquaculture in Maryland increases. Also, an increase strongly agree that farmers today use less chemicals, less fertilizer, and fuel with the aid of GPS, drones, UAV, and other types of computers. And they like the 73% of the students agree or strongly agree with the statement. Since participating in the program, I learned a lot of new things about science, and that's the basis of what, agriculture is about, science.
Okay, you good with that?
Yeah, thank you.
So in conclusion, we just want to, again, I want to thank you all for making this happen, thank the community, and this is a great event, and thank the students for their participation in the logo contest. And, it's a great event, and we look forward to next year.
Yeah. And please take time and read this. It's got some really good information on it.
I just wanted to add, if it's okay, this program, it's for this entire 7th grade. And so this plays a big part into our career counseling program for 6th to 12th grade in general. So this is a large part of our middle school program. So not only are we highlighting just agricultural careers in the community, but exposing students as part of their career counseling program that we have to do as part of the blueprint. And so the career coaches that we have, they're part of this as well, and we're there. And so it's everybody working together. It's really a cool event to see all these different folks coming together to put this on. So thank you all for this.
Yeah. The career coaches have done a great job. So they've really helped us to think more like a teacher and to really get them more involved. So, yeah.
Great.
So great program.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Appreciate it.
Mr. Page, can I ask that for next year's, you at least let us know when it is in case we're able to participate or show up because I know that it's 2 days, 2 schools one day, 2 schools the other day. We might be able, as board members, be able to show up and help out or just wander around and learn.
We'll give you a personal tour. That's what I usually do. So I invite all the county government, our state legislators, university. We have a whole list of people that we invite. And then we'll just give them a personal tour, and then you can kind of see what. So we would love to have all of you come.
Thank you. That would be great.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
My brother's got the Highland cows. We're gonna take them over. I don't know.
Carrie.
What kind of cows do you have?
Scottish Highland.
Yeah, so she does. I was like,
What? Is this important board business?
No, I mentioned we've known her. I was like, she's like, doesn't she have them? I'm like,
Yeah, I've got 3.
All right, and now it's time for a public comment. We ask all speakers to keep in mind the following guidelines. Speakers should sign the roster, including their telephone and numbers and address. Comments should be limited 3 minutes in length. Comments longer than 3 minutes should be submitted in writing. Statements to the board should relate to a matter of general policy over which this board has authority. Comments about actions or statements of individual staff members are not appropriate for public comments and should be referred to the superintendent of schools or the board president. If you have specific questions, the board will make sure an appropriate staff member responds to your questions. The board respects your desire and right to convey your message freely, but asks as a courtesy to this board and our citizens that you show respect for all. Ms. Mamas, you're first up.
Thank you, President Bent and Superintendent and members of the board. My name is Marcy Mammis, and I'm a resident of Chestertown, Maryland, but I'm a Queen Anne's County Public Schools teacher, and I am the 2025-26 Teacher of the Year. So I came to give you an update. I thought you would really appreciate an update of what I'm doing. So the sign went up on the side of Ken Island High School, and my friend sent me a picture, and it was surreal. I am sincerely grateful. I know that I want to go to the school when there's no traffic because I'm positive I will stop and just stare. So I am very grateful for that. At the end of May, I participated in the State Superintendent Roundtable here. That was a really interesting event. It was very eye-opening. Dr. Wright has expressed a really strong desire to involve the voices of our counties, especially our rural counties, and the community. And we spoke a little bit at that venue about the different groups that she's going to put together, focus groups, to address some of the issues. And I am hopeful to be put on one of those to represent our county and give a voice to the needs of our county that she would like to hear. I went again at the end of May to the state superintendent's, the MSDE meeting, and all of the teachers of the year were presented. I again had a chance to talk with her a little privately, and she again talked about those same meetings and those same groups that she has a desire to put together. So I am hopeful that I will have a voice for Queen Anne's County on one of those committees. It was a nice opportunity to meet the other cohorts of the Teacher of the Year from the other counties, other supervisors, superintendents. Not much information was shared. On June 25th, we had a Zoom meeting with the new director. Her name is Lauren Smith. She shared that the process will be similar to years past, in that this summer they are reviewing all the applications that were sent in mid-September. They're going to announce who their finalists are, and they'll set up interviews. And then at the mid to end October, they'll have the state gala. Not any information was shared about the date, the venue, how many seats our county will receive. So as that information comes, I'll be sure that either Betsy or I will share it with you directly. Other than that, I have a couple official things that have been put onto my calendar. So on April 11th, I'll join Miss Passon. August 11th. I'll join Miss Passon, and I'll welcome the new members of our teaching staff and our regular staff to the Queen Anne's County, and I'm looking forward to that. In the afternoon, I'll join Dr. Kibler as we go to the county fair. I believe it's opening day, so we'll tour the fairgrounds and have something that we'll do there. So I'm excited about that. And then August 16th, I am fortunate to be asked to be working with Tides of Grace, a really worthwhile organization that helps some of the most needy people in our community. So I'll be working with them on their family fun fair right here in Centerville. I wasn't sure about it. I signed up. I said, absolutely, I want to represent our county and be in the community. And I will be on the dunk tank. Can I have 1 minute, please? 1 minute. I will be in the dunk tank. So I will be in the dunk tank. So I'm sure that several of my past students, my current students, and my soon-to-be students will come out and put me in the water. But it's for a great cause, so I'm happy to help. For the rest of the summer, it's not an official capacity that I'm representing the county, but I will be in training. So I'm in fusion training next week for 12 hours. And then the following 2 weeks, I have 80 hours of training at RIT for Project Lead the Way, where I'll just be happy to represent Queen Anne's County in terms of a staff member showing our resiliency, our positivity, and our commitment to lifelong learning. So thank you. I hope to come back and share more with you as I learn more about the things that I'll be doing.
Thanks for the
Thank
update.
you.
Thank you so much.
And thank you for the extra minute.
Practice your wave for the parade.
Earlier during our closed session, the board talked about and discussed our human resources report. And if there are no other comments or questions, I would like a motion for approval.
I make a motion for the Queen Anne's County Board of Education to approve the July 2nd, 2025 Human Resources Report as presented.
A second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right. President Bent, with that, I want to thank you all. Thank you, the board, for approving that. And I want to introduce tonight Dr. Schreckengoss as our interim assistant superintendent. We can do a picture?
Of course. Oh, I have to do a picture.
Congrats.
We'll do one without, one with, I won't post the one with you online, John, how about that? I'll just send it to you guys. Retirement looks like everybody. Like, just scoot, yep, that's perfect. Okay, on three. 1, 2, 3.
Thank you.
Congratulations officially.
No.
Stupid cheater.
Yeah, it's like Chrissy, right here. All right, Mr. Evans, you're on the hot seat.
Literally.
Literally.
Good evening, President Bett, Dr. Kibler, members of the board, executive committee. For the record, my name's Matt Evans, Supervisor of Student Services. Before you tonight are 5 policies for final approval. The first policy is administering medication to students. We did make an amendment since the last reading at the suggestion of Mrs. Capes that included with prior parental and guardian consent. It was in the regulation, but it made sense that it should be in the policy too.
Yep.
Any questions?
If it is okay with the board, can we let him go through the 5 and then approve? Keep going.
Okay. Next is policy 513, education of homeless students. This complies with recent updates to the McKinney-Vento Assistance Act. It was reviewed by our MSDE Homeless Education State Coordinators, complete rewrite of the 2010 policy. There have been no comments since the last reading. Any questions?
Yes, I have one.
Yes.
Do we have any students that fit this category?
Education of homeless? Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Okay. That's my only question. Any others? Nope. Okay.
Next would be policy 516, home and hospital teaching. New additions are in red, and deletions were in strike through. There have been no comments since the last reading. Any questions? Next is policy 535, student registered sex offenders and entry onto school property. This is a new policy and follows the MSDE policy and includes recent updates from April 2024 that prohibits juveniles on the sex offender registry from attending public or non-public elementary or secondary schools in person. There have been no comments since the last meeting. Are there any questions?
You good?
Thank you.
And the last is policy 536, student telehealth. This is also a new policy, complies with the mandate under the Maryland Education Article 4-143. There have been no comments since the last reading. Any questions?
Nope. No.
Make a motion for the Queen Anne's County Board of Education to approve policy 502, policy 513, policy 516, and policy 535, and policy 536, subject to final edits, format, and style.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Dr. Guido.
Good evening, President Bent, Dr. Kibler, members of the board and the executive team. My name is Darren Guido, Supervisor of Instruction, areas of social studies, world languages, service learning, and multilingual learners for Queen Anne's County. Tonight, I come before you seeking approval for a one-year renewal of Savas's My World Interactive. This purchase will provide all teachers with digital access, students in grades K to 3 with hard copy consumable materials, and students in grades 4 and 5 with digital access. This is our elementary social studies curriculum. We've been using this elementary social studies resource that we've been using since 2019.
I have a question. So are we doing annual renews every year, or is there a possibility to extend this for savings?
It's a great question. So we're asking for a one-year renewal because we also want to pilot additional resources during the year. And then next year, come back with a multi-year proposal for a resource. We didn't have time to do the pilot throughout this year and our last year with Savas. So we're asking for one-year renewal, but I'm already in conversations with some other publishers to do a resource review, one in each of our 3 trimesters in the elementary school. And this is something that teachers are already comfortable with. So we'll continue to use this for at least 1 more year.
And I guess I would add, because that's a great point. We were ready for the question. This is one of the holdovers that we're still hanging on to with the year to year. I think you brought middle school social studies last month,
Correct.
where we were able to do the multi-year deal.
Right.
We did it with English middle school. Mr. Page a little bit is going to bring one for high school chemistry. So we're trying to get on this. It's really difficult to do everything at once. We were talking about how could we even find a way to do the 3 pilots next year to save and kind of save the money altogether. Personally, I didn't feel comfortable trying to do a year-long pilot.
Right.
This is a pricey contract. I'm not thrilled with the cost of it. Dr. Guido was able to get it down a little bit. It is for 6 grade levels of students, so it really is hitting a lot of our students in the district. It's still pricey, and I'm confident that with the 3 programs that we're going to look at next year, that we'll be able to find something that's going to bring significant savings in those out years. And I think we share the frustration of having to do the 1 year on this one.
And we've already taken into account the budget, and it's part of our,
That's correct. It is part of our materials and instruction budget in category 4.
Thank you.
can I get a motion for approval?
I motion for the Queen Anne's County Board of Education to approve the 1-year renewal of the Elementary Social Studies resource, My World Interactive. The fiscal impact, $96,423.80, and the budget source is FY26 operating budget.
I second that.
All in favor? Aye. Thank you, sir. Ms. Passon?
Good evening and happy summer, President Bent, members of the board, Dr. Kibler, members of the executive team. For the record, my name is Bridget Passon. I'm the English Language Arts Supervisor for grades 3 through 12. Tonight, I'm here for a request for $59,665.73 in order to support our Tier 2 reading intervention programs. And just a 30-second clarification. So in reading and mathematics specifically, there are 3 tiers of instruction. Tier 1 is the instruction that every student gets. That has to do with things like the into reading, into literature that I brought before you in June. Tier 2 and Tier 3 are supports for students who need a little more instruction in one or more of those areas. So these are materials to support students who need more support in getting on grade level with their, in my case, reading English language arts skills. So these are licenses that we have used for close to a decade now. The program just switched in implementation last year, so we did put out a lot of money last year to handle that switch. Reading interventions go on a year to year because the numbers fluctuate so much. We are facing state policies tied to literacy that will go live, so to speak, in 27-28. So we're kind of bracing for that impact, and I anticipate that these numbers will flow a little more than ebb in the coming years. But for this year, it stands at about 7,000 to 8,000 less than last year, which is good news. And this will service students who need that additional support, i.e. a Tier 2 in their foundational skills or their reading comprehension skills for grades 3 through 12.
So you have to get one for each school? Is that how it works? Wow.
But they do give us the teacher licenses for free, and they give us almost half off on the student licenses. We've been great customers, and we have incredible efficacy with these 2 interventions. We had a 3rd grade teacher and her student win a national award for because we have teachers now running these interventions, for their work this year. And I've been to all the rooms where the teachers are running these interventions, and this was a big shift for our teachers, but man, they took it.
This is the first year?
The teachers had to do the Tier 2 in grades 3 through 5. More teachers in middle school, and we've always had high school English teachers running it at the high school level, but the elementary teachers have done an incredible job, and in most cases, they are also teaching it this coming year, which is great for consistency.
And you said this is an annual fee?
Yes.
Because the way
the numbers fluctuate so with the kids we have an intervention.
Okay.
Any other questions?
Nope.
Can we get a motion?
I motion that the Queen Anne's County Board of Education approve the purchase of HMH Reading Interventions Code and Read 180, grades 3 through 12, including teaching materials, digital licenses, and consumable textbooks necessary to support reading interventions. Fiscal impact, $59,665.73, and the budget source is FY26 operating budget.
All in favor? Oop, sorry.
Second it.
Thank you. I was ahead of the game. Thank you, sir. All in favor?
Aye.
I almost panicked when I didn't see your hands go. Thank you. Have a great summer. Take care.
Thank you.
You too. Okay. Help me not mess this. Ms. Berberich?
As I am up next, you're going to hear a lot of the same words. My name is Becky Burbridge. Oh, actually, before I start that, good evening, President Bent and Dr. Kibler and the board. My name is Becky Burbridge. I am the supervisor of math instruction, K-12, and I am seeking purchase of a use of iReady MyPath. It is an individualized learning pathway that supports elementary and middle school students in meeting and exceeding grade level standards. This tool works in tandem with the iReady triannual diagnostic assessment that we do 3 times a year to create a personalized instruction path for each student. The pathway delivers targeted lessons and practice that address individual learning gaps and extend learning for students who are already performing above grade level. I'm going to echo what Ms. Passon said about the policies that are coming down the line. The math policy is very focused on acceleration as well as helping kids meet some of those grade level gaps. So this program does both of those things. It can both push kids past where they are as well as help remediate those gaps. By automating some of that piece, it actually reduces the need for teachers to have additional planning time when they are able then to focus their efforts on differentiating their small group instruction and rotations. And it also supports those tier 2 interventions. And because it is going to be universally available in elementary school, and we will have enough licenses in the middle schools to be able to flux kids in and out, we won't have any issues with needing any more licenses than this. We believe that maintaining access to the individualized learning pathways will help us better meet the diverse needs that our students come to us with, while also supporting teachers in not having to plan additional pieces of that high quality targeted instruction. I will also address it is a 1-year contract, and I did seek out about 5 iterations of this contract in different combinations to see where I could find places to support our needs while kind of trimming things that we didn't actually need. So I switched from school license to individual license at the middle school level. I also sought a multi-year contract, which turned out to be almost virtually no savings. So I figured for this budget, while we are going forward and balancing things out, it made more sense in this instance to purchase the 1-year license instead of not really doing a cost savings for an extended period of time.
Do they have a projection on if we go annually next year? Is it going to raise the costs?
That is a great question.
Because if we did do a multiple year contract and say it's every year is 86,000 for 5 years, let's say next year and we keep doing 1 year and it goes up 10%. In the long run, we're saving money. I wasn't sure if we've done that analysis on that aspect.
I was going to say, I've not gotten any projections as the cost. That is certainly something that I can look into. The rates do change every year. We are also up for iReady contract renewals. It is currently what we use as the elementary curriculum and the 6-7 curriculum. And those contracts are coming up for renewal in 2 and 3 years respectively. So I'm kind of hoping that when I get to those, if we are still doing that same curricular package, that I will be able to get a savings by lumping them all together. So it is in the projection, but I can certainly look for next year for you.
Mr. Watkins, you were going to say something? Okay.
This is expensive.
It is.
But and saying it's not necessary isn't fair. But it is something we look when we talk about the budget. Would we maybe next year, depending on where we're at, would we only buy it for the students that are in the need of interventions, much like we just did with the English just before? Right now, we're still able to do it with the budget we have for all of our students. If you talk to your kids, they'll talk about, got my iReady minutes this week. That's what my boys say when I pick them up.
I was going to say, you probably all have kids that are on their little pathways doing their stuff.
And so they do like it. And I like it from the gifted and talented aspect as well, because we talk so much about intervention. So for this also giving the path on the higher end, it's an added benefit.
I was going to say the other hat I wear is of the gifted and talented supervisor, and it is something that I have been working very hard to find places with limited resources, whether that's people resources or money resources, but where can we find these opportunities to extend some of that learning for kids? And again, you have teachers that are asked to do 1,000,001 things, and when they have these heterogeneously grouped classes and they have kids that they know need those targeted interventions during that small group time, it is a really efficient and wonderful way for that kid that's already at grade level standards, and especially in the middle school where I went with school licenses, so everybody has them. Those kids are excited to learn and eager, and they're the ones that are going to be jumping into that pathway and going beyond the grade level standards, and they'll have that opportunity without creating any extra burden on the teacher, which I think is really awesome.
Sounds great.
It's a great product. I agree. I wish I could make the price tag smaller, but I do like it.
Any other questions, comments? Okay.
I make a motion for the Queen Anne's County Board of Education to approve the purchase of iReady My Math Fiscal Impact $80,195.00 Budget Source Operating Budget FY26.
I second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Sorry. Mr. Page. We meet again.
All right. President Bent, Dr. Kibler, board members, executive team. For the record, my name is Michael Page. I'm a curriculum supervisor. For this particular item, it is science. I am seeking the purchase of a new primary resource, Experience Chemistry, published by Savas, for all chemistry classes in high school. After reviewing 3 high-quality instructional programs, the teachers anonymously selected Experience Chemistry as the most robust and instructionally sound resource. This decision was finalized on May 12th of 2025 after a collaborative review and discussion. Also, I want to thank you, Dr. Kibler. I was ill last board meeting, and you helped bring this forward for me, so I really appreciate that. To keep this on track. The proposed adoption includes a 8-year contract that totals $53,508.80. This is in the budget for FY26. Any questions?
That overall or?
Excuse me?
Perfect.
I didn't hear what you said.
I asked if it was 53 for all 8 years or if it's 53.
It's 53 for all 8 years. I mean, it covers all 8 years.
Significantly cheaper than the iPad.
Well, so you got a couple things happening. So it's high school chemistry, so not as many students at one time in it. That makes a difference. And then again, I mentioned it last time, and you could do it even better, more justice than I. What the teachers, when they looked at the materials that were offered with it, and just cutting down, saying we really don't need that. We have some of these chemicals or supplies still in our rooms. I mean, they really, was it almost cut it in half or more?
So yeah, things that really cut the cost were, one, we didn't have to adopt any chemicals that go along with this particular curriculum as of right now, because we have those in stock in our classrooms. There will be some as we go through the curriculum. The teachers are going to work through that to decide what they need and what they don't need, but that should be covered by our annual cost within those science departments. The other one is that we bought digital licenses for the students, which also incorporate some of the text. But the digital license, originally, when we talked through all this, we were looking at purchasing digital license for all students, but we don't have to because it's a semesterized course. So we only have to purchase enough for half the students, and then they can share that digital license. So that was a big part of that cost. And so working through with the teachers, they wanted just sets for the classroom and just a little bit extra for if a student wanted to bring a text home. They also have the digital text, and it also integrates into Schoology. The interportability of all the information goes right into Schoology, and they're able to utilize it all through there. So it's a good deal for 8 years for $53,000. It's a really good deal. Any other questions?
I make a motion, the Queen Anne's County Board of Education approve the purchase of Experience Chemistry published by Savas for all high school chemistry classes, fiscal impact $53,508.80, budget source FY25 operating budget.
I second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Who's doing?
Me.
You, okay. Dr. Kibler.
So bringing forward tonight, a contract renewal for Maryland Shore Educational Food Service Consortium contract. This is where we would like to continue partnering with Maryland's Eastern Shore Educational Food Service Consortium. There's the 7 districts. It's with Cisco. This is the same contract that we've been purchasing from this school year. Caroline County is who we piggyback off of. Their contract expired at the end of this school year, so they've just voted to approve to extend it for another year. What we're asking you to do tonight is basically just extend us on top of that as well. We had some discussions internally. Hey, the board approved that we were going to piggyback off of Caroline last year. Do we even need to bring this? In full transparency, I wanted to bring it. I think that you guys should know they redid the contract. So we are asking you all to renew our position that we are going to continue piggybacking off of that. Obviously, we get that buying power with being the consortium of the 7 of us. And so that's why we're bringing this forward tonight. And I think there's 3 more years of those renewals built in.
What was the price difference from last year? Do we know?
Well, I will say this is one of those open-ended type contracts too. It's not like we're going to cut Cisco a check for 1.2 million. This is basically up to
Right.
Mr. Watkins. I believe when we looked this afternoon, it was 1.5 million in the food budget line.
That is correct. So this will cover basically all the food in the food service program with the exception of milk, bread, and produce. So there's $1.53 million budget in the food service budget. This is a good chunk of what we spend it on. Also, we may not hit $1.2 million on this expenditure. This is probably on the top end of what we possibly would ever spend on this. Again, like an open purchase order. It obviously has billing cycles every 30 days.
So when we had all those separate contracts last year, that's all going to be rolled into this amount?
No.
Except for the,
Correct.
what he just said? The
Yeah,
milk? Okay.
this covers the Cisco,
Cisco, which is
bread is a separate one, milk is a separate one. I don't think they were up is why we haven't brought those in. Ms.
Okay.
Nikki. I would have to confirm that. And then I don't think this covers paper products either. I think that's a 4th separate one.
Okay.
She did want me to just let the board know that all the terms and conditions have remained the same. Really, essentially, we are just extending this another year. They did include some new food menu items.
Yes. We do remember that.
There's also a nice article in the Bay Times Record Observer, if anybody saw, just about what we're doing with the food service program. And we actually, the people that administer food service at the MSDE level noticed the article and congratulated us on what we're doing in the food program. So I'd like to have that shout out.
Very nice. Any other questions?
Make a motion for the Queen Anne's County Board of Education to approve the contract with Maryland Shore Educational Food Service Consortium. Fiscal impact is $1.2 million. Budget source, food service operating budget.
I second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you very much. Mr. Barricklow.
Good evening, President Bent, Vice President Capes, board members, executive team, Superintendent Kibler. For the record, my name is Darryl Barricklow. I'm the Supervisor of Facilities and Design, and with me this evening.
Josh Combs, Supervisor of Technology.
Okay, coming before you this evening, we are seeking approval to purchase a new standalone server to provide data storage for the central office for the
surveillance camera systems across the 14 schools and 2 other facilities, so a total of 16 buildings across the school system. This server will provide redundant 30-day minimum video retention, as well as additional headroom for future network upgrades and additional cameras as the network of cameras continues to grow. It will also serve as a backup server if one of the individual school servers go down, and we can maintain surveillance coverage at the school. So if anybody has any technical questions, I've got Josh here that can answer those. So any questions?
I wouldn't even know where to begin, to be honest.
It's a big hard drive that all the video is being stored to, and we're keeping it at the board office, centralized video storage.
Where is it now? I'm sorry.
We don't have one. Right now they're stored locally at the schools, but we can't do 30-day continuous coverage. This will allow us to do 30-day continuous coverage at all the buildings and keep it as a secondary.
So this will go with the new Board of Education building, or
That's what
coming
we're
here
storing,
first?
yes.
Okay.
And this way you could access everything there now.
Mhm.
Did we plan for this before?
What's that?
Was this planned for before? Like, if we weren't moving, would we buy?
It's something that Joe in the surveillance, he desperately wanted something that can do 30-day continuous. Right now we do continuous up to a certain amount of time and then motion only.
Gotcha.
But we've been having some issues with the motion only, capture. If you do continuous, no matter what, 3 o'clock, we know we have video
Gotcha.
of that camera. So
And
that's
is this
kind
a one-time purchase and then?
Yes.
Okay.
of one time.
Any other questions?
I make a motion for the Queen Anne's County Board of Education to approve the purchase of a new surveillance camera server, Paravol MES, with 567 terabytes usable storage, utilizing the Maryland Enterprise Education Consortium Agreement, UMD, number 972016, fiscal impact $72,641.00, and the budget source is FY25 local CIP funds.
I second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Dr. Kibler.
Okay, so the next item is approving a contract for Alpha Best before and after care services. So this is a program that's offered at a few of our elementary schools throughout the district. We have the option to have this at Centerville Elementary School, also serving students from Kennard. It's at Ken Island Elementary School, also serving the Bayside Elementary School students, and then Mattapique Elementary School as well. So the contract that Alpha Best had was expired at the end of this year. So we put out a request for proposal. 2 companies submitted applications. Alpha Best was one of them. I do have the score sheet here. Alpha Best scored higher, and we're recommending that they be awarded to allow continue to offer these after-school programs. This was another one that I felt like I wanted the board just to be aware of what we were doing, that we put this RFP out, and that this is the company that was selected. It happens to be that they would be continuing their services in our schools.
There's a line on page 2 that says no later than February 27th. They will directly inform all participating parents and guardians about the summer program. Are they doing a summer program for us?
So they are doing a summer program right now based on last year's
Numbers.
contract.
Okay. And what schools? How many, not which ones, how many?
So I believe, and I have this knowledge because I'm a parent of students that are in the program. So I believe they only have had numbers in the past to operate it at one site, but they allow any students that want to go there to go there. I believe it has been at Ken Island Elementary School. But again, the students from all of the schools that they do serve are allowed to access that program. And again, this program, regardless of who we choose, it closes the gap for where we don't have the Edge and the Boys and Girls Club. So this basically essentially gives before and after school program, an after school program availability at all of our schools.
So since there's no fiscal impact, is this something the state covers or how, who's,
Parents pay for it.
okay, they, everything comes out of their,
Correct.
And that's the schedule in the back on the hours, hours versus cost. Okay.
And I believe most of the sites end up with a wait list if they're popular programs. They even offer care on school closure days and things like that.
Oh, wow.
Bulk delays, that's key, yes. Yeah, it really is a good service I like to have, so.
Did you take advantage of it?
I did,
Yeah.
yes.
Any other questions, comments?
make a motion for the Queen Anne's County Board of Education to approve the contract with AlphaBest Education Incorporated for before, after care for school year 26 fiscal impact 0, and the budget source is not applicable.
Second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So, I don't think there was anybody else signed up for public comment. Future meetings, our next board meeting will be, we're not doing a working session. August 6th is our next official board meeting at 6 p.m. Same bat time, same bat location. There you go. Let's see, last thing. Need a motion to adjourn.
Motion for the Queen Anne's County Board of Education to adjourn the July 2nd, 2025 open session at 7:05 p.m.
Second that.
All in favor? Aye. Thank you.